Amy Farmer just called out the Department of Justice again, and honestly, after reading her memo, it's hard not to see why the victims don't trust the government to tell the full truth about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's break this down because what Amy Farmer just told the court is incredibly important. First, she reminds the judges that Epstein's victims have been denied justice for decades, and not just by one administration. According to her memo, multiple administrations from both political parties have failed the victims and ignored Epstein's inner circle. She points out that the government has only gone after Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and that's it. Despite congressional investigations, public reporting, financial evidence, and decades of warnings, the DOJ still has not taken any action against the rest of the people who enabled, funded, or protected Epstein's trafficking rings. She cites reporting from the New York Times, Business Insider, and the Wall Street Journal showing that Epstein's financial network and accomplices remain untouched. Haney basically says that this is exactly why the victims had to fight to pass the Epstein Files Transparency Act, because transparency is the only path to justice. Then she addresses the DOJ's new request to unseal grand jury transcript, and this part is key, y'all. Annie supports unsealing everything, the transcripts and the exhibits, with only minimal redactions to protect victims' identities. But she also makes a very specific concern extremely clear. She does not want the DOJ using this court ruling as an excuse to avoid releasing the rest of the Epstein files, because according to her memo, government officials have already implied that previous protective orders prevented them from releasing information, and she wants the court to publicly clarify that this is not true. She's basically saying, don't let the DOJ hide behind the court. Don't let them claim their hands are tied. Annie also reminds the court that the government is sitting on over 300 gigabytes of evidence connected to Epstein, data that the Transparency Act requires them to release, and she wants it in writing that nothing in this order or motion can delay or restrict that release. And honestly, that's huge. This memo is Annie Farmer telling the court and the public that victims are done watching the government stall, cover for people, or pretend their hands are tied when they're not. She's saying unseal it, release it, all of it, no excuses. And if the DOJ is hoping to hide behind a court order, not this time. Make sure you're following, and I will keep you updated as soon as we have an order from the judge.